Yeah, bye. Children all night.
Right, we're back, and it's a big one. The preview: City v Liverpool. As usual, when it's Liverpool, got none other than Mr. Liverpool himself. What are you doing? How's it been
Alhamdulillah, good.
since the last podcast?
We've done all right. There's been no games. So not to worry about.
Right, so it's a big one. Liverpool, City. Where are we going to start? Predictions, Waj. What do you think?
I think we'll beat them. We've got a funny 2-1.
Really?
Yeah.
At the Etihad?
Yeah.
All right, who do you think is going to score then? 2-1?
I think Darwin will get one, and possibly Diaz or Jota.
Okay. Talking of Diaz.
And for them, probably Haaland. Oh, actually, not Haaland. That Argentinian kid.
Alvarez.
Brilliant player.
Innit? Sick player. Do you think he's going to move soon?
No, not while Pep's there.
Really?
Yeah, while Pep's there, he's there. When Pep goes, he'll go. But he'll end up Real or Barca, that caliber type of player,
100% he has to be.
Wicked player.
I think it was you were saying in the last pod that maybe even AC, Inter Milan type clubs, they're the type to come in for a player like him in it. Big
he would,
European
but I
pedigree.
think Argentinians, they love the Spanish clubs.
So-
Italy's a bit cold.
It is, yeah. It's cold for playing football now as well, if you know what I mean, in terms of the way it used to be compared to how great the game was there. It's obviously not got the
It's
same prestige,
exposure, innit?
Yeah.
The game's probably still good, but the thing is, though, you don't get as much exposure. I remember back in the 90s,
It was
when
a good run, man.
Parma, AC, all these teams were on, and he thought, you know what? Buffon must have started his career then, when I think Channel 4 had it.
100% Gazzetta Italia.
Yeah, that's it.
The
And then they
Gonzaga-
showed James Richardson.
Gonzaga. James
They were the
Richardson.
doors.
Yes, lad.
Good days.
They're the best days, man. Batty Stewart.
George Weah used to pick the ball up and run from his own half and carry the whole the opposition team on his shoulders.
That goal against Verona, innit? When he scores from his own box, yeah.
And then Crespo.
You kids that are watching
Proper
this,
players.
we're giving some ball knowledge here. So Waj thinks it's going to be 2-1. Personally, I think Waj, honestly, 2-all. Draw.
I'm thinking possibly a draw, but I just got a funny. I think, with City, I think the always problem we've always had is, we had Mane, all the running was never a problem. Last season, it was a problem. Do you know why? Because sometimes, I think the only thing I worry about is maybe Foden against Tsimikas and if Doku's playing against Trent. But then, if we can turn them other way, there's different...
them back, you mean?
Yeah. I
And
think that's the only way to beat City, to be honest with you. And that's Klopp's style.
And I was just going to say, you were showing me pre-pod, he's got the best record in world football against...
We were just get it out,
Waj.
we were just pulling him off. So basically, his record against, between them both, he's played against him 28 times, 12 wins, so 43%. And by that, everybody else, Antonio Conte's got a good record against him at 57%, but he's only played against him 7 times and beaten 4 times. So if you can see the level of competition.
Mourinho's up there with the over 20
Jose's there, but Jose's probably drawn about 80 of them games.
So Klopp's got the best record in world football against...
But then it shows, like, Pochettino's at 23 games, he's only won 4 games against him.
I think we've always known Waj, that he is the kryptonite to Pep Guardiola's football.
Yeah.
He's the antidote in it to him.
Yeah, the thing you got to realise today with Pep is, though, Pep, I don't know, it's his style and the way he is, yeah. He can make an average player look good and a good player look world class. Simple as that. Look, I'll give you a prime example, Ikanje. He won a world beater at Dortmund.
No,
I'd say it was this and it was that. You look at City, he's taking the Premier League like it's actually pretty easy, which it isn't. His left, his right. Ake at Bournemouth.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Another one, played him left back. John Stones, Everton, it looked good, a lot of promise. Couldn't sit. All of a sudden, he's looking this great player that once he showed promises of. Then you look at like some of the, like Bernardo Silva, you know what, that guy. I was praying, people are praying to judge for health. I was praying for this guy to go to Barcelona. I said, please go, man.
Rod was saying it to last year as well. He wanted Bernardo out. His Kali Zaban has made Bernardo.
But you know what, though? He is some player.
What a player,
some player, yeah. Never known anybody put so much work, so much effort.
Not just the work, right?
His quality is
we
good.
play at a crap level, and when you run that much and then you get the ball to come to your feet, to have the presence of mind to know what to do, how to do it. Oh, what a player.
I think what helps, obviously, they're technically good. So by the time they've received the ball, they already know where the ball's going. Look at Gundogan.
Amazing.
Even at Barcelona, it looks like he's been there years because he's that good a player.
I think then Szoboszlai's going to score, Salah's going to score for you lot. And on the other side, Phil Foden, Erling Haaland, right? key battles for you, Waj, where the game's going to be won and lost.
The two full-backs for us
Okay.
and the two wingers for them.
Right.
I think, you know, midfield, I'm trying to think what their midfield is. I think we're probably, maybe I'd push to say maybe we're stronger. But there's also a rumour that he might play Endo in the middle just to sort of like solidify it a little bit. But then obviously, yeah, I think, no, he might play him in middle. He won't play next to Body. That's not his style. It doesn't matter who's playing. He'll play him and he'll probably play McAllister and probably Sobersline and maybe Gravenberg if he's fit, he'll be on the bench. But I think the centre-half pairing, I think tomorrow he'll go with Matip because Matip's been playing all right. And obviously...
Talking of Big Veg, everyone spoke of a bit of a demise.
The comeback.
The comeback, saying on it.
To be honest with you, people have obviously dissed him, and rightly so. Last season they said he was this, and I think on the last podcast I mentioned, you know when you haven't got a midfield in front that can run, teams bypass you, and that's what was happening with us last year. This year is a bit different, but if you look at every aspect of this guy's game, he's been on top. People have been comparing him like Saliba. Yeah, he's good, but he's a baby. And some of the others, and then you got to realise one thing, you know when you know your daddies.
I was about to say, how long with Pio, Nana?
I was going to say, but I didn't know who was listening.
No, we're bilingual, multicultural, what, go for it. Pio, Nana.
Yeah, but you know, it's the verge. And I think the difference is, I think for too long, he's taking it nice and easy and this. And if you notice now, he's back to the verge that, I'd even say you're defending desperation, where you want to make that ball, whereas before last when we beat Bournemouth the other week, I mean, their winger, I can't remember his name now. And Mbeumo was fast. And they showed a clip from last year where he skinned him. This year he didn't. Why? Because it seemed like he had a bit more effort. Maybe ACL's a big injury to come back from. A lot of people don't even come back from it. So give credit where it's due. Do you know what I mean? Give credit where it's due. He's back and he's doing all right. I mean, like, aerially, nobody can beat him. He hasn't been dribbled past this year, but he might do it tomorrow. We never know. Or Saturday.
Never know. For me, the key battle, what you're saying is the full-backs. I think it's between Mohamed Salah and Ruben Diaz. Straight. If they
Salah's
can Salah out,
Diaz.
If they can shoot him out.
Diaz is brilliant. Wicked centre-half. But the thing you've got to realise with Diaz is, though, you know, whenever you watch, I think that's the one thing Salah probably looks forward to most, because you know what? He's quite easy to turn. And you know, if you're on the front foot, I think you'd beat him. The luckily thing for us, I think this is why, I mean, like, I was talking to some lads today and said, who would you play? For me, I'd start Darwin off for one thing, because he doesn't stop running.
Yeah.
And his pace, and he's persistent, he'll be left, he'll be right, and everywhere. And Diaz and Guardiola are not the quickest, even though they're brilliant centre-halves. Then it comes down to one person, Mr. Walker. He's like the speed demon.
He's mad. He is mad.
But then it just depends who he plays on the left. I mean,
Luis has to be.
But he might play, then where does he play Kanji? It depends on what system he's got.
Not Hugo Luis, sorry. I mean, you're not going to play Luis Diaz on the left wing, right? And he's someone I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes because of the slander that I feel like... I won't say slander, let's just talk about it now. I think people forgot about him because of the injury he picked up last season.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, to be honest with you...
This guy flew out of the blocks, mate.
When he came to us, right, you thought, you know what, this is what we needed. And I think that's the reason why they let Mane go the way they did. They thought, you know what, we've got somebody to replace him. He hasn't got Mane's goals in him, but do you know what? He could have if his finishing one was good. But what people don't realise with him, you know, his work rate, and he's only just getting back to somewhere near. He's probably 70% the player he should be, or he was. But I think, yeah, definitely. And I think the thing is, though, it's about product. Like, you look for Colombia over the weekend, well, he scored. And he can head a ball, right foot, left foot. Yeah, but obviously Dad's had a hard time on it. They wanted a bit of Dage. Nobody sent him it.
It looked like he was getting PTSD again.
Yeah, but I think, to be honest with you, I think, you know, this game, and it sounds daft, you know, someone like Cody Gakpo, if obviously he gets to the game. See, this is the thing, all of a sudden, we're talking about players, we don't even know if they're going to play. Whereas, like, last season, you knew, this is how far we've come. We might lose, maybe not. But the thing is, though, at least we've got options. We're starting thinking, who's he going to pick?
Yeah,
whereas like last season we didn't have that. We're basically the same team. We had Hendo playing, and he pulled his Zimmer out, and whoever else.
So as a Liverpool fan, you're saying that you're glad with the squad that you've got this season. You're more confident going into these big games. That you can pick and choose different players up front and be confident with the different.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, even the Tottenham game, we lost it. But to be honest, we shouldn't have lost it. But forget the goal. Even like after that, a lot of the decisions that game went against us, like the sending off and whatever. But we could come out of that game thinking, you know what, we should have won that. And to be honest, we should still be unbeaten. But somewhere along the line, I believe, in the season, it'll it'll plan out, and you know what, it evens itself out. It just depends on when.
The reason I said Mohamed Salah as well is not because of my love affair with him, much that you always go back to it. It's because the guy loves playing against Manchester City.
He's got a good
was
record.
it last season that sick goal he scored when he held off Cancelo and he spun him? Was it last season?
When the keeper. Yeah. To be honest, in that game though, see, this is the difference. In that game, I wasn't confident. I thought, you know what, we're going to beat them. And I thought, no, do you know what? Because they have, without a doubt, they are the best team probably in the world. Forget anything else, the way they've got, who they're bringing into the. But it's like a cycle. One goes in, the other just jumps in. It doesn't matter who plays. You couldn't really predict who they're going to pick. But with Salah, he's at the end of the day, though. Even if you watch that game, he wasn't overly involved. And if you watch him this season, he's not. But his numbers are good. And I think, you know, when you've got busy bodies in front of you, you don't have to run around because obviously you can tell his quality. He just sits there and he goes, I tell you what, give me the ball and the Egyptian king does the rest.
Hey. So I really personally do, not just from a bias, I think Mohamed Salah is a key player from both sides and it rests on him. If he has a good game.
200 goals in England, you can't beat that.
And he's proven against City as well, big games. So much for them that I said he's one season, one day. Anyway, on to the next one, watch. Combined 11 for you between Manchester City and Liverpool right now. I'll go first.
Well.
And then you tell me who you change or if it'd be a completely different. I'll pick Alisson in net. Obviously, to me, he's the world's best goalkeeper right now. Definitely.
11 goals in 19 appearances.
Who's that?
For Salah against City.
Check that. I told you he's got a sick record. I don't think anyone...
I think he might have, I can only think of one team might have a better record against.
Manchester United.
I don't know. I've just got this funny feeling.
Right, why did you check that out? Alisson's at...
wow, the biggest. Salah has now scored 11 goals across the last 6 appearances. And I remember one of the games, it isn't Manchester United bashing, yeah, when we got beat, I think it was, and somebody sent me this video and they showed like Luke Shaw running and he had Salah in his pocket. God knows what happened then after that.
Salah's been emptying his pockets every time he's been playing Manchester United.
Right, so combined.
Balls come out. Combined 11, right? Alisson, for me, goes in net.
I'd go with that. The reason being, Edison's a fantastic goalkeeper. I think people tend to forget how good Edison actually is because he doesn't do as much as... Like, I'll be honest, Alisson does a lot of work for us because our defence is probably not as good as theirs.
Okay.
But in saying that though, and I think people forget how good he... But with his feet, I just find Alisson's a better goalkeeper all around. I'm not going to say he's not, but you know what? I just find Edison's classy.
Yeah, he is.
You know, he's got the ball at his feet and like he'll take a risk and like when... That's the only part of his game I'd say, you know what, he's better than our keeper.
But Alisson's better, man.
Yeah, in every other game, part of his game,
everything. And
he's better.
And decision making, I think even he's a better goalkeeper than him.
Yeah, I think the thing is though, as a goalkeeper, and I think you've got to realise one thing at the end of the day is, you've got to take a risk. Whether you're sweeping, sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Like us against Newcastle, last year, when Pope came out and he tried heading it or doing whatever he was doing, he took the risk. A lot of keepers wouldn't even do that. So
you have to risk and reward.
Yeah, I think that's what makes them good goalkeepers, when they take the risk and it pays off.
So
really.
we're both agreeing on Alisson to go in net. My centre backs, I think we'll agree on this as well. For me, is Ruben Diaz and Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
I think Ruben has been their best centre back so far this season, as usual.
He always has, though, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. And then Virgil obviously stepped up again.
Yeah, I think the thing with them is though, like if you look at the left side of their defence, he's sort of like, they've got Guardiola and I think, who plays full back? Is it...
sometimes Akanji, sometimes
Ake. And I think that's probably the weak side. Diaz is good and there's nothing you can say about Walker, is there?
I think you're going to be surprised about my now left back. I've gone for Walker at left back because of Robertson's performances this season. They're not been as outstanding as
He's had a couple of good games, but he's injured anyway, so at the moment they've got Simicast playing.
And I'll whack Trent out onto the right because now we're going to talk about Trent for about 2-3 minutes. Watch, I know you probably think I'm waffling today a lot, but I feel like we got to speak about Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, this guy, he is quality. He's bounced back from all the criticism and he's having a good season so far.
I think the thing is though, June is what, 24-year-old, and I think you know when you set the bar that high, when he first came in, even as a youngster, he looked good. You could tell the difference in his passing rate because he never rushed anything. And even now, you watch him, he don't get phased, but you go through something like a phase in your life, you know, where nothing comes off. You do two things, you either come back stronger, and he has done, or you can basically hide and basically next year you're playing reserves before you know it, you're shipped out because you're not doing the job.
Yeah.
And I think what he offers with the ball at his feet, and I think it depends because I think Man City will play Doku, the reason being just to keep
Him
pinned back because if he goes the opposite way and with his passing ability and stuff. But I think, you know what, it don't matter if it's Doku, who, you know what, you can never stop somebody's natural game, and that's his natural game. Progression is going forward. And I don't think our managers want him any other way.
So would you agree with my left back and right back then, Waj? I've gone for, obviously, a bit inconventional.
I don't know, to be honest with you, if Robbo were playing and it was on it, I'd probably have gone Robbo, but I'm not going to disagree, reason being, because at the end of the day, Walker's a good player, so we've got to fit good players in somewhere, regardless.
Yeah, true. Right, I'm saying now it's a 4-3-3 I'm going for.
Right.
3 midfielders. Dominic Szoboszlai my first pick. Has to be.
Do you know what? I don't know if you guys have watched his goals that he scored for Hungary.
Bad boy.
My God.
What a player.
What is he, 23,
I think. Serious tackers, man. The way this guy strikes the ball.
23.
It's Gerrard.
Left foot, yeah, left foot, right foot. The country, 23, your country's relying on you.
Yeah.
They've qualified. So basically, yeah.
As well. He's going to have a good big tournament.
You can tell with this guy, do you know what? He's 6'1", built like a tank, never stops running. And do you know when you're hungry? And I know he's from Hungary as well, by the way, but when you're hungry and stuff, you just want it. And I think that's what makes a difference, you know, is you just go out there and whatever you've got, you put it out on the pitch.
And like you said, I think he's hungry to show that he's a top-class, world-class footballer that belongs
Yeah,
at this level.
I think a lot of people, when he came out, a lot of people doubted, thinking it was basically a choice between him and Mason Mount. The difference was exactly the same fees, both £60 million. I think one wanted 250, 300 grand a week and one wanted 110, 120. So Liverpool went with the cheaper option. And obviously it's paid off.
I think he has paid off massively. Watch, this guy's going to...
The only thing is, how long can we keep hold of him for? Is the way I look at it. Because if, like, the way the kind of player it is, he'd easily... Well, I won't say easily get into it, but he'd suit the Spanish game.
Madrid?
Yeah, easy.
I can see him in a white shirt for some reason. I really can. He suits the game. 3-4 years, watch, you got him. Yeah?
Then we'll swap him for Jude.
That'd be funny.
End of Jude.
That'd be funny. That'd be a good one, right? And the other two midfielders are gone for. I think you'd agree with me on this again. Rodri and Bernardo. Overall,
Rodri is the best.
Oh, I just put his head on the line and he said
No, but he is. What he does, he's the best. I don't think. What can the guy not do? The only one thing I say is, you know, sometimes he overdoes it. But you know what? In ball winning, he's good in the air. He's good on the floor. Everything.
He doesn't get pressed.
Distribution. Yeah, you watch this guy's game.
Key goals now every single bloody time. See, you need a goal.
Some beauty goals.
Is him?
I don't know, but you're not going to get a better. And maybe there's going to be some City fans watching now. Better goal than the one
against Inter Milan in the final.
No, what about the one that my man Company scored for Leicester against Leicester?
Against Leicester, yeah.
Their dream, and this guy, his left foot, right foot is brilliant. And you know what? If we had him in our team, we wouldn't be talking about 2-1s and 3-1s.
Go on, man.
4-5-1. That's how good that kid is.
Premier League, eh? So
Rodri
Liverpool gives you the Premier League, right?
Yeah, without a doubt. With that team now.
Big statement.
Is that good?
Yeah. I want the audience to give us their opinion on that.
I think the audience will agree with us.
Yeah, why not? Let us know what you think. If Rodri goes into Liverpool's team, this team right
Anybody's team.
Anybody's then there. What do you say? This guy is the difference maker right now.
He is.
In Premier League football.
Because he controls it, he slows the game down, end of the day.
And then he's getting the key goals now.
Yeah, and he plays the game at his pace, and I think that's what good players do.
And then we've got Bernardo. I don't think you could disagree this season with that guy, like we just said. The guy's a magician.
I'm trying to think who I can fit ahead of him, but I've just said the way I said it right at the start. This guy is some player.
Up front, it's a bit contentious here, right? Obviously, I'm taking my Egyptian king, Mohamed Salah, on the right wing, 100%. Erling Haaland goes up front in the striking position.
So he's one position.
Left wing, I'll pick Phil Foden for the way he's played this season. And because I think...
So now one of them, one out of three.
Yeah. Sorry, Waj. And you know, those that are watching, they might say I'm a bit biased towards Foden because they know I'm always talking about Foden being...
No, but he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a very good player.
If you remember the World Cup, when we did our World, I was raving about Foden then as well.
No, but he is though. But look at the way he plays. He is good. I'm just trying to think.
Hakpo, that was a good season, I think.
He's been good, but I think the thing is at the end of the day, would you play him ahead of what you've got there? I think, you know, to be honest with you, I'm not talking overall, I'm just talking about this fixture. Maybe on the weekend, yeah, he might score 10 against us, I'm not saying that, but do you know if you're looking at Haaland, do you know his overall game isn't great, but you throw that ball in the box, what he's paid to do, he does that. 100%. Like his hold-up play and like bringing people into the game, you'd think, you know, somebody for like whatever money they paid for him, he'd have a bit more know-how of it. But again, he does what he's paid to do, he scores goals. And I think this is the thing though, now...
Would you prefer that over Darwin right now?
Or him?
Yeah.
Do you know what Darwin? going to be honest with you, right? Darwin Núñez, yeah. I watched him play the other day. I thought he
Against,
scored
Brazil?
in his national. Yeah. No, he scored against Brazil, didn't he? Then he played the second international.
Argentina, mate.
And the ball just come in and he side-footed it in the corner. And I thought, this is the problem with this guy. You know, that could have either hit the corner flag or ended up in top corner. But he has improved from last year. Like, we're talking about every game thinking, you know what, is he going to play, is he going to play? But, you know, if you look at it as an impact player, he'd be awesome because he doesn't stop running, he harasses. And I think he's the only kind of player you need to be playing against Guardiola and obviously
Is he like
Diaz.
composure, then that's all it is. And that's what
Do you know last season?
Yeah.
Every time the ball came to him, he was rushed.
Okay.
This season, if you notice, some of the goals he laid on for Salah, he knows sort of like where he is.
Yeah.
And he'll get the ball and he doesn't need that extra touch. When you take that extra touch when you don't need to, you're giving a defender time to come in. Take it out and
Lack
then,
of confidence
like
as
the
well,
goal he scored, I know it was a shit game, Bournemouth.
Yeah.
He came on. If you look at his first touch was of a donkey.
The finish was
The finish was a serial killer.
Yeah.
The way he just smashed it. And you know the thing is, everybody started laughing, thinking, what's this? But they're the kind of things he can do. But then if you watch like some of them, there was a couple of games later where he missed 2 sitters.
Which one is it that we were talking about? Where he hit the bar and, you know, he should have just dinked it over the
Forget the one in the UEFA Cup where he took it around everybody and hit the
exactly.
post and Gravenberch
He's
scored.
looking at Gravenberch scored it.
Yeah.
So would you agree then, Foden, he's taking Núñez over him?
No, I think I agree with Foden. I don't think with Foden.
Or Doku, maybe?
You've got that. Doku's hot and cold, I think, at the moment.
Okay.
You know, like he's even. But the thing is, he's with Pep and he's going to learn. He's going to get better.
So we've picked Alisson 1, Verge 2, Trent 3, Dom 4, Salah 5. 5 Liverpool players, 6 City players.
I'd go with that.
Alisson, Walker left back, Trent right back, Verge and Ruben Diaz. This is Waj and Didi's combined Liverpool and Manchester City 11, 4-3-3 formation. Rodri, Bernardo and Dominic Szoboszlai. Mohamed Salah on the right wing, left wing Phil Foden and up front Erling Haaland. Waj, it's been 10 years since this rival that we're ending the podcast on this. Would you say 10 years since that famous game? I watched that live and I actually thought you were going to win the Premier League that season. I still remember it.
We should have done FFP, get your job done.
I'm going to do a pod on that as well about the Everton.
5. Come on, Everton got 1 charge, 10 points. These guys got 115, man. I'm sure if they took 100 points of one of them titles, because remember one thing, that year, 99 points. I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, there's probably a lot of City fans here, but I'm going to say one thing. You guys struggled to fill your ground. How the hell did you make £713 million beyond me? The honest truth.
Right, Waj just laid down the gauntlet for City fans. So there's another one for you. We got a question. You can barely fill your ground. How the hell do you have a revenue of 713 million coming out? City fans, you can answer that because you follow your club. You know how the
No, but it's true. I've said it so many times.
And it's right. Everton have had 1 charge. Bloody Chelsea have had so many over the years. City, forget Chelsea. City have had 115 since last season and not one of them been probed.
I'm talking with Chelsea, but don't forget, they're on about Man United now.
Are they?
I was reading somewhere today,
Oh,
Man
wow.
United and somebody else.
They're going in hard in there, aren't they?
But the thing with United have always had big revenue.
Yeah,
They've always made big money.
Yeah.
So
100%.
they'll cover it.
Yeah, commercially they're massive.
Yeah.
You know this as well.
Yeah.
No matter how crap they're playing on the field, they're a juggernaut off the field.
You know the amount of money they make? I mean, at the end of the day, I remember back in the days and like, when they won their first title when Terry Sheringham had come, and you know what, they floated. And you know, since then, they've smashed it. Edwards left for them, and then I think it's just gone down. Now, obviously, they're not making as much money because obviously they're not successful. But in saying that, though, if you look at all the clubs, I know Man City's growth's massive, but don't forget, you've got plenty of oil money.
Yeah.
If you look at Liverpool's growth in terms of what we were doing, 175 million, I think it was the season they were making. Now you're talking, I think this year, last year I think we made 631 million or something, I think it was, over 600 million.
Massive growth.
And we didn't have a good season, so there's a possibility, they reckon, maybe even 650, 660. Football's a big business.
Massive right now. And I think
This is why people are not real. This is why the Glaziers and these Americans, they're not selling. The reason being because at the end of the day, in a few years' time, these lot will have their own channels, like they've got LFC TV and MUTV and what have you. And then what they'll do is they'll have their own rights. And I think sooner or later, it's going to be $1 billion, $2 billion. Basically, the big clubs, Liverpool, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, these lot will benefit. You're talking they'll probably take home just out of TV money. They were on about, estimate like 5 of the games. So if you've got 100 million fans, you imagine how much money you're making per game. They're not daft.
Yeah.
This is why, I'm not even being funny, Liverpool's, they wanted 3, 4, 5 billion pounds, whatever it was at the end of the day. And even United's, but the thing is at the end of the day, they would have sold that £5 per ticket. What do you call like e-game or something?
Yeah. It's
£100 million. Imagine that, the £100 million a game.
Yeah, no, my days. Yeah, you're right. It's enough paisa at the moment that's going in football, right? But the 10 years that have happened, Gerrard saying don't slip. It's only been Liverpool that pushed City so far.
I know, man, that slip.
That game continues, got a wonderful
You know, I actually feel sorry for him, but I actually do feel, right, he does deserve a Premier League title. So I do feel City should be stripped. I know it's a bit shit, do you know what I mean? Like having somebody's cast off and stuff, yeah, but I don't think he'll mind a medal that somebody else has held. Do you know why? All I ever get from United fans is, yeah, I actually do believe, yeah, even like Gary Neville said today, he goes, if there's one manager in the world he would love to get now to manage Manchester United would be Jurgen Klopp. And I do not disagree with him, because the reason why I say at the end of the day, he's the best manager out there. Remember one thing, resources make a hell of a lot of difference. And my man's scratching at the bottom of the barrel at the moment. Imagine if he could basically pick whoever he wanted. Go out there, buy he had all the money to buy whoever he wanted and stuff. So we'd be winning everything. That'd be good.
I'll fit that in now. So over the 10 years, is that the key difference between the rivalry? That City have been able to improve when and however they've won it, and on the other hand, Liverpool have to play.
I think investment plays a big part, because don't forget, I'll give you a prime example now. Chelsea have got all these players, they've spent billions on whatever. But at the end of the day, though, they've offered these. Would you say they've got to Chelsea to win stuff? Maybe not. But I'd probably say not.
Okay.
Have they gone there for the big paycheck? You imagine this, you've got like Caicedo and stuff, 9-year contracts. Yeah, for FFP it works well, because they can say, listen, we're paying the transfer fee of the duration of the contract, so it works. But in terms of what you're paying him, you've got a guy there who maybe might be good, maybe might not. Look at Lavia. I don't think he's even seen the pitch.
Played, man.
But then you wasted £60 million. If that were Liverpool, that's £60 million. This guy would be starting week in, week out.
He'd be a well-beater right now.
Yeah, I think that's the difference. Because
Klopp would make sure he's a bloody well-beater right now.
But you have to, because we haven't got £60 million to put on the bench. I think if you look at our bench, it depends on who he plays. Yeah, we've spent, like people say, yeah, but he has spent money, you can't say he hasn't. No, he has. But then you've also got to look at it as though he sold players to make that money. Like, if you look at like the main two, I've always said that the main two people were Alisson and Van Dijk, and both of them come from the Coutinho money.
Yeah.
If Coutinho hadn't gone, we'd never bought these two.
100%.
And we definitely were never, ever in a million years paid 60 million quid for a goalkeeper.
Well, you know what, you're actually segueing everything in here. It started off 10 years ago with Coutinho scoring that winner, and now you're saying it. Coutinho back then was seen as the main man, the catalyst for everything for Liverpool.
Coutinho was good, thought the grass was greener at Barcelona, obviously it wasn't. But you don't blame him.
I think he thought it, and I think, you know what, I've read this a lot. Klopp actually privately agreed it with just let him go.
I think the agreement was that he was going to stay for a bit, and then. But the one thing I'll take after him, he was professional. He stayed, he played. I mean, like the things this guy can do, they're the kind of players that win you titles. To be honest, you know, that can do stuff out of nothing. At the moment in our team, we've got a couple like Szoboszlai. People haven't seen. People are saying, yeah, but McAllister, but you've got to realise he's playing 6. He's not a 6. He needs to be 8. Yeah. If we can, they were on about Andre the other day, but I've looked at Andre is going elsewhere now by sign with things, because apparently his fee's gone up from 20 to 40 million pound. But now this is the thing: if Fulham are willing to pay 35 million pound for him, he must be a good player. I don't mean Fulham's scouting.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I'm just on about like a little club like Fulham. Mr. Shahid Khan knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Shahid Khan's a good owner.
Yeah,
he's a good owner.
But the thing is, he's put his cards on the table. He's basically invested. People come down today, yeah, but how much money it costs? But maybe in London, obviously, water's expensive, electric's expensive. Like they've got the dearest tickets in London.
Fulham, have they?
Yeah, really expensive.
Yeah, Connor, what are you doing? Connor, the guy that plays football with, has only got the Fulham shirt.
What
are you
doing?
You sorry out, get your club to put the.
Don't do that. Shahid Khan doesn't care.
Yeah, you know, he doesn't do that. So
his son runs it, doesn't he?
Would you say then over the 10 years it's been the resources?
Resources, obviously, man, you can't. The thing you don't realise at the end of the day, right? City's facilities, I wouldn't say they're better than ours. Probably at the moment, like we've obviously got the new access and stuff. So basically, I mean, facility-wise, we're probably on par. I think the difference between us and City, well, obviously they've had the money, they've come in, they've bought the best players, and everybody wants to join the best club. You look at their youth academies, they've bought the best players in the youth academies. Sometimes if you watch the under 20, under 18s, under 21s football, some of the City players think, oh my God, why is he not playing the first team? But they've got the best kids
look at
in
Cole
there.
Palmer, for example. Perfect example of what you're saying.
But look how good he looks. But the only reason, to be honest with you, the only reason they got rid of him was because I think he wasn't bothered about City. I think he was a United fan, wasn't he?
Was there?
Yeah, Cole Palmer's a United fan.
Oh, no wonder.
And I think that's one of the reasons why they thought, listen, you know, he wasn't like, you look at Foden.
Through and through.
Yeah, he's through and through City. So basically, never ever can question, he's Alliance and say, listen, you know what, he's a blue. But then you've got like my mates, Abi Khan. He used to be a red. Now obviously he's a blue because he just says, look, it's Manchester. I don't care whether it's blue or red anymore. So maybe a few United fans are thinking like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of them do when it comes down to the crunch between Liverpool and City, bro. They go for City over you lot. Obviously, they're gonna though. I understand.
No, but I think at the moment, I think as a neutral, because remember at the end of the day, if City win the title again this year.
I think they're always going to be against you lot. They don't care about that.
No, but is that 4?
Yeah.
4 on the trot?
The first time ever, yeah, you're right. In English,
4 times, you know what I mean? So you imagine this, the last manager to do it was a Fergie.
Fergie, 3 feet.
But even if you look at Fergie's though, Fergie was a good manager, but you can't say Fergie never spent money. When Fergie needed to, he went out and he bought the best. And I think they never stopped him. But then also, if you look at it though, everybody else that they've gone for, like, at the moment, there's going to be a massive clear out, 15 players are going. How much of them 15 players that they're going to get rid of have been bought into United in the last 2-3 years? So you can't really say they weren't given a chance. There was. The problem is at the end of the day,
the culture shit there.
Yeah, the wrong players. Like, I tell you what, the one thing I'm glad, you know, my club is the way they embrace you, the way they are. Like, you'll go on LFC TV and they'll show them in the morning having breakfast together, and you'll see like the Hungarians and the English walking together, cuddling. I don't mean, but just having cuddles and huddles and whatever else is. It shows good togetherness, and I think that's what I think Klopp brings, and I think that's what differs him from Pep.
Okay, he's a bit more big on the team camaraderie, get together.
Yeah, I think, but it is important because, like, like if you look at it though, when City score now, I think there's that used to winning games. Yeah, they'll score, and you know what, you're like, oh.
I know what you mean. When now Liverpool's got the whole team starting to celebrate together and everything.
I think that togetherness is massive.
And it's back now.
And I think even not this year. I think they're going to have a big summer, but we were told we were going to have a big summer last year in the year.
I think Salah's leaving this summer. That's why. As you said, the sale will.
Yeah, I think the sale will give the money, but the problem at the end of the day, so that Mohamed Salah to replace him, unless you get lucky.
Why do you don't replace Salah?
Not his goals, you don't. But the thing at the end of they're on about Enrique Chiesa. Problem with Chiesa is he's been into that long. He's only just getting back to somewhere where he wants to be.
You just said his dad's name, Enrico.
Oh, Federico.
You just showed your age there, watch me.
Enrico was a good player though.
Bad boy player.
Yeah, he was a very good player.
I didn't forget. Bad boy volley. But watch just showed his age there. There was Chitte Bal. Their wisdom. Right? So 10 years it's been since this rivalry, the top rivalry in English football. What is saying that Liverpool will be winning on Saturday 2-1. I'm feeling like it's a 2-2 draw. However, I'm sticking with my guns in saying that Liverpool will be the ones to challenge City. And if anything, if City don't win it, I think Liverpool are the champions this season. Let's see how that.
I think Arsenal will be there. I think the only thing with Arsenal is at the end of the day, though, I think what he's done, obviously, with the goalkeeper situation, I think that's left a bit of a bad taste amongst everyone. And to be honest with you, I know Martinelli and Saka are brilliant players. People go, yeah, but fuck, you don't know what you're on about. I do, but you know what? If Odegaard's not on it, remember one thing with the other two, you've got to give them service. Odegaard's job is to feed them.
Yeah.
But for me, their best player is a kid that comes from Man City. He's
a top player.
Because that guy never stops. He's all over. He's a menace.
He is.
And to watch him, I watched him on the game for Brazil against Argentina. You know what? Never stop running.
A mad game, that, eh?
Yeah.
You see the fun trouble. Oh my.
Yeah, but if you go around spitting at people and stuff like that, like apparently Di Maria did, I think that's what set you off. But I don't know, I might be wrong. I've just seen a little bit of a clip.
All right, maybe, okay. But it was crazy. It was mental scenes. Go check
But that's rivalry.
Yeah, that's crazy. Messi was saying,
and to be honest with you, I look at the Brazil team, and
they're not that good no more, watch.
You know, with Argies, the one thing at the end of the day, they're tough.
Proper.
Do you know what I mean? And you know, like, I'm going to bring Dave Moyes into when he was at Everton. Dogs of War, they would have run through fucking brick walls for that kid. And this is the same year you watch the Argentina team. And I think Brazil's is too much about, do you know what I mean? Oh, comb my hair and blum this and we'll do that. I mean, like, Joe Linton were playing and it shouldn't have been sent off, to be honest, because they actually pissed him on the chest. But the thing is, at the end of the day, that game you need a hell of a referee, because the referee basically what his job was, he should have been pulled back at least 5 yards before Joe Linton reacted, but he didn't.
Okay, yeah, I get what you mean.
And I think the problem with Brazil is, I don't know, it's just like they need to be honest, they're struggling to qualify at the moment.
Yeah, they are. Well, the coach is not even their full coach. He coaches.
I think, you know what, this saves the cunt right for dropping Alisson.
Yo, imagine his bloody agenda. He's gone back
But
to
did you
that.
see the Ottomandi's header?
Yeah.
What a header. No
Bullet,
keeper in the
you know.
world was
Hey,
saying
that's-
that.
you are one. Come
Yeah,
on,
no
man.
keeper in
Don't
the
be
world
too hard
saying
on the
that.
guy.
Nah.
Right,
What
we'll be
header.
back soon, inshallah. Jazakallah for that one, Waj. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Comment,
Bedtime.
like, share, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Jazakallah.
Ah, bड़ी बुड्ढी करे